Nice. Hello, 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 hello. What's happening? What's up, lobsters? Guess Whip's back again. What's up, Jake, Colin, Jennifer? How we doing? Yeah, lobster's out. Oh, cool. Christy, what's up? How's it going? Coming out. Hiram, I've never seen you in here before. Maybe you've talked, maybe you haven't, but hi. Harley Graham, what's happening? Thanks, people, for showing up. Hope your week's going well. This is the Humpday Massacre, where I'm working on one of my original songs. It'll probably suck a lot, actually, but I'm starting to get the hang of this production thing. And goals tonight? There are no goals. Well, I started doing a remix on Monday, so there's gonna be Remix Mondays live stream now. And one thing that I've kind of learned from that is that I do not interact with the chat room enough. They do that better. So what I've thought is I'm going to try to cut this down to an hour, try to force myself to make sure I stop at 10 o'clock on the dot so that I can spend that hour talking more, doing dumb things, and then the rest of the night when I would usually just be like a zombie, get it right, I can just keep doing that at my own pace. So yeah, that'll give me the rest of the night to be a zombie, but for this hour I'm going to try to be really really talkative and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. What's up, J Rock? Hope it's going well. And I guess I'm into pimping now. I don't really I don't know how good I'd be at that, but I have a green hat. We could do that. All right. All right. So, getting into this track, a lot's changed again since last week. I've probably put in, I don't know, maybe like 5 more. Uh so right now I have arrangement up at the top. Just I counted out some bars and stuff like that. These little 2-bar things kind of fade, give me time to fade in and out to other. But I've heard you shouldn't do that because DJs hate play your song because eat everything in sets of 4. Fucks them up, and they. But whatever. I'm a newbie, and this is what we're doing. Uh, J Rock has a toothache. No. What kind of toothache? Like cold pain or just swelling? What's up, Mad Miz? Thanks for the peace sign. Mandy's in the house, and there's Darth Vader music. All right, I'm gonna play everything that I've changed. Last week had like this section where like all these instruments had everything in ours here. I've added stuff on. I've tried to build up a little bit with the. Tried to do a lead in here. This little synth riff. I'll just. So like when everything kicks in for this final drop, you can't even hear this. I have no idea it's there. And I was like, well, it's still kind of catchy. I could it again. So I used it over here, but this time I added and deleted a few, so it gets a bit more. That's gonna lead. That's gonna lead. Sounds pretty nice with the. That's gonna lead. Guys are out quick. Taking in that bar pause there. All in the interest of keep. That's only gonna be 3 long, which is one thing I didn't like right off the bat is come in sooner and stop before that last measure. What's up, beware of chairs? Thanks for coming out. It's a wisdom tooth. J-Rock, I don't know what to do, man. You just need to get into a dentist and get that thing taken out. Yeah, wisdom teeth. There's no reason to have them anymore. Go in and get them all removed. It. Done. What's up, Seth? Liar, thanks for coming out. Up by a toddler. That's a good way to spend a week. I was stuffing my face with burritos and Hernandez. I can't tell from your picture. It's so small on my screen. I can't. Guy or a girl? No, Hernandez. Still can't pronounce it correctly. Long. I don't even care. But we I got it. Now I got it. Noe. I will remember. What's up, Rachel? Thanks for coming out. I love my glasses too. Thank you. Later, Flyer. Thanks for coming. Can you hear me now? Let me see if I can fix that. Sorry if this hurts anyone. I'm about to tap on this. The mic problem might be that it's like I set it like a really limited range here so that it won't pick up my monitors and I don't have headphones. So that might be it. I just might have to be more careful about getting. If you heard all of that, say yeah, that's a good idea. If that's not the problem, then be like, no, fix it. Still cutting out. Okay. Check my connections. I turned it up all the way now. Checking all my connections. Alright, I turned the volume up. Let's see. Is that helping at all for anyone who's having problems? It's probably gonna clip my voice like crazy, but whatever. Thank you, Mad Miz, for confirming. Alright. Seems like it's better. Okay, cool. Alright, now what do I work on from here? Let's see. So I feel like that's gonna be at the beginning and the end of the song, but I want it to be kind of minimal there because whenever I end up having vocals put in, that's all I want are these three things and the vocals. So let me see. No bass. I did bass over there, I think. Yeah, sub is playing at the end and the bass is playing at the end. That's what we want. Maybe it's time to convert some of these over to guitar chords, because I did want it to be kind of more natural sounding at the beginning and then get more synthy towards the end. So at some point the guitar is going to have to come into play, so I could try to figure this out on the guitar. Give me like 2 seconds to set up a microphone and get that going in here. New track. Input 2. Let's do input 3. Input 3, create, go. Alright. Let me grab my mic. Let's just try this here. Stop spinning. Dude. Alright. Let's make sure that's coming in. Good, that looks alright. Alright. Noe, you're onto something there. In reference to that song. No comment on that right now. Okay. Let's see here. We got a C. So we have a C, and we have a G, and we have a C. Alright, I'm just gonna play those over and over again. But I think it's just gonna be straight chords. Let me check out some of the more upbeat parts. And let's solo that. Ah! The best part is I don't know what I played there. So we got, that looks like A flat, and then we got C. Then we got E flat. And then the octave again. Those are weird, they're like upstrokes. Do something a little more full. Let's just get the rhythm down first, I guess. Down, 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 down. All right. Down, down. Oh, sorry. Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. Down, down, down. Is that a 1, 4, 5, 1 progression? I don't think so. Let me see here. The whole thing, I believe. Wait, it might be. Well, we did it in C minor. So that would be... No, I think it's because I think the A flat's the root there on that one. What's up, Audra? Thanks for coming out. Planet Junebug, what's up? And Candy Coated Bonbon, everyone's here. I'm gonna need my capo for these chords. I don't think I have my banjo capo, maybe that'll help. So we got B. So we have A flat, B flat, C, B flat. That's all it is, over and over. Okay. I'm gonna try it with a capo that is for a banjo because I don't really have mine. Eek. I don't know. I don't want to bore everyone with just learning chords, so maybe I'll have to do that in my free time. Okay. Maybe I could try to make the other drop with a lot of those elements that I was talking about. So do it with a steel drum instead of the arpeggiator, maybe. So this is just that bad sound that we used like 2 weeks ago that's not going to be used, let's face it. So I got rid of that. Let's delete this. Let's also do... Okay, what if I did this weird arpeggiator thing on the steel drums instead of a synthesizer? And what other kinds of real-ish instruments can we do? We could do... Are the bongos in there? I see that. Yeah, bongos are in. But what if they were the chords instead of that? Let's try. Chords instead. Pretty much what I had there already. This will probably hit off the bass more in the kick. Kind of just want them only on the kick. Get rid of those. Then maybe if they like do something in between. Yeah, it's like you won't even hear it, but it might be pretty good. Alright, cool. Maybe like a little fill right here. Let's solo that. And just because I'm curious, what would that sound like down an octave? What would it sound like down another octave? Ooh, I like that. So how about, what if all the bass notes were down an octave? Would that be cool? Or would it not be cool? Let's try it. Boom, 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 boom. What's up, Jason? Thanks for coming. Power of friendship. Try 16th notes. Yeah, we got a couple of those in there. Let's see how that sounds with everything. I like that run with the low steel drums, and then let's maybe layer that with something. So we'll do another track and contact, but instead of steel drums, let's do they have like a marimba or a kalimba, something? Let's see what else we have. Other options, other options, other options. Yes, 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 yes. What can we do? What can we do? I don't want all this. It feels like they have a lot of instrument libraries that are all just rock and roll stuff, which is kind of like, yeah, I understand that it's like what comes with it, but I'd like something a little more weird. Kalimba, there we go. That's good. And then cool. Let's solo that. Doesn't come through on the low end quite as much, but let's mute these, because I don't imagine they'll be there at the end. And then I want those bongos to stand out more. So let's see where they're going actually. Let's give them their own output here. And battery 7, 8. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Load them up. Let's send that to 7 and 8. 7 and 8, yes. And then we can change these however we want. And I almost don't even want to waste CPU on an EQ if that's all the range they have. They're just right there in the middle. Okay. Let's do something weird. Let's see some OTT compression on that. Okay, just because I'm curious, I would like to know what they would sound like. A little distorted? They're clipping like crazy, that's for sure. Bit of a limiter here. I feel like there's something else we could do on that. Maybe a little reverb. And what if we put that before the compressor? Let's see how that sounds. Now it just feels like dead and tinny. I mentioned Paris by Chainsmokers and I got you hooked. Yeah, every song they put out is just good. It's incredible. And then, did you see the music video for that? It's just like hot chick in Mexico through the whole thing. I don't know what that has to do with Paris, but it's a cool video. Lower octave triplets sound amazing. Thank you. Yeah, I think I like them down there. Now these bongos, they sound just kind of I went and screwed them up with that reverb, so I'm going to take that back off. Maybe put the reverb on after the compressor. So what a compressor does is it takes... Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Let's put another distortion on there. A compressor, if like a sound has like a really loud point and then like a little quieter point and then like a loud point again, it will lower the louder points down to where it's even with the quieter point, and then you bring them all back up again so they're a little louder without clipping, which is making this bar go red, which is really bad. You never want to clip because it causes distortion, like unpredictable distortion. So sometimes you do want to. I shouldn't say never, but like I imagine Skrillex has clipped once or twice, but it cuts off the wave because it's too loud for the reader to read, and it adds all these like artifacts to it that you don't want most of the time. Mostly. Let's try a different reverb. So first of all, I think the size should be down. And you don't want one thing to sound like it's really far away in like an echoey chamber, and then everything else sounds like it's just like right in your head, because that's weird. Like, why would that one be all echoey and the other one is not all echoey? It just makes your head think like, whoa, what's going on here? Alright, this is just gonna need guitar, bass. So, tell me what you guys think. I'm gonna put, probably over the next week, I'll try to put the acoustic guitar in here, playing something very similar to what the synthesizers play at the end. I'm gonna put an actual bass guitar in there, playing something similar to my bass at the end, which is here. I'll solo that. Actually, I should solo that with the sub because... There we go. Also, depending on what you're watching on, you might not be able to hear all the sounds that I'm making, because if you're like listening on a phone or something, those kind of speakers, they don't really have good bass because the speaker cone just isn't big enough to make those sounds. So anything that I'm making here probably gets lost if it's coming out of your phone speaker. And the other thing about the phone speaker is I'm pretty sure that they're mono, which means there's only one speaker. If you get two speakers, and so like just computer speakers or a stereo or something, you have two different signals coming from each one of those. Like when I'm panning stuff down here, and like, so something's like all the way to the left and something's a little to the left, it raises the signal in your left speaker more than it does in the right, so it's louder coming out of the left than it is the right, and your head kind of perceives that as the instrument is over on the left of me somewhere. Like if you were going to picture the room as a real room as you're listening to the music. So like you hear a guitar that's panned left a little bit, you feel like the guitar's over here. Whereas if you pan something center, you feel like the kick drum is always panned center, so it's always like right in front of you. And then depending on how loud or quiet something is, that's how like far away or close to you it is. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, if you have better speakers, more of these sounds will come through, or better headphones, or the Beats I used to have, they have like increased bass, so any low frequencies going into those, they're bumped up a little bit higher than everything else, which makes it sound really cool. But the problem I was having when I was mixing with them is all the sounds I was hearing were artificially inflated in the bass end, so the bass would sound good on there, but it would be like non-existent everywhere else. So that's one of the reasons why I opted for the studio monitors, mostly because everyone who does this professionally has them. So I was like, if I want to actually pursue this, I definitely need to get me a set. What's up, Nick Lange? Thanks for joining us. We're almost done here, though. Beware of chairs, S. Yeah, I'm just going to stick to the chat room for a minute here when we close up. For anyone who wasn't here at the beginning, I'm going to try to keep these streams to an hour so that I can talk to you guys more. And the other 2 hours I'll spend being antisocial by myself and just working on things so that you're just not watching me clicking on stuff being stupid. So yeah, it's just going to be me reading the chat room right now. How many songs do I have in the works right now? That's a good question. Back in like October when I was still like iffy about the whole thing, like do I want to put this much time into it? I had about 5 or 6. Now I'm going to right click this and this is just going to show the recent ones. So I have all of these, and not all of them fit on the list anymore. So it probably goes up to around here. Some of them are things that I've done on my own. Some of them are other versions of the same project, but a lot of them are just new ideas, and I like most of them. There's probably only 1 or 2 that I'm like, this is going absolutely nowhere. I want to have nothing to do with it. Put it away. But the rest of them all have something that it's like, if I just spend a lot of time on it, I could turn it into something. And then one of them is pretty much done. My friend Joe is coming Saturday, hopefully, to re-record vocals. And then I'm going to spend the rest of the weekend just trying to master that and have it ready to go. And then I'm still trying to figure out packaging for everything. Like on YouTube, I want to put like a cool 3D background animation behind it. On SoundCloud, I want like a nice art to click on. I'm trying to come up with my own logo and everything. Talking to some designers about that. So by the time I finally release it, I want everything good to go. So I'm not just going to throw it up there without having all that done, because I want it to look good. You click on something because it looks good, not because you're like, oh, I know that's going to sound good. It's always because something draws you in about that art or the title or something like that. So I want to make sure I have that all in line before I put that out there. Mandy, but I like watching you click on stuff. Yeah, it's fun, but I feel like it's boring for most people. What's up, Tori? Thanks for coming to the end here. Nick seconds it. Inspiration for Hydra, so it's kind of dumb. When I start these Logic files, I just give them a random name so that I can find them again. I have no idea what I'm actually going to call them at the end. And that one, well, there was a series of them there that I was doing names of the Dharma Initiative, Lost stations from the TV show Lost, and Hydra was one of them. And then I sent over the music I had to Joe, and then he went and wrote lyrics. And he's like, dude, I looked up what a Hydra was. I wrote lyrics for it. I was like, oh, it didn't have to be about that at all. That was just like a placeholder name. And he's like, well, the lyrics are kind of about that now, so it sticks. So that one stuck, but a couple of the other ones, if we get lyrics, they're not going to stick like that. But yeah, now I'm on to GoldenEye levels. Barely onto GoldenEye levels. That's what the facility thing is there for. Campbell's Skits. Thanks for loving the glasses, man. I love them too. Most people can walk out of there while we click on stuff. All right, I'll do 10 more minutes of clicking on stuff, and then we'll end it for the stream. And then just remember to comment once this stream goes live whether you want me to keep working on the same song, or you're like, this one's boring, it sucks, I want a new one, and I will just start from scratch on another one next week. And then Monday, I'm going to get back to working on that remix again. I started getting something cool with the vocal chopping there, but that's about it in about 3 hours of working on it. And one thing that, if you are like interested in this kind of stuff, if you watch Virtual Riot's live streams, so if you type in Virtual Riot live stream, in 4 hours he pretty much finishes a song, and it's amazing. So that would be great if I could get my workflow up that fast, but I'm still kind of slow. Noe, I agree. That seems to be what the lyrics sound like to me on that one. I mean, I didn't write them, but I have worked with them extensively. Alright, let me click on stuff for a little bit. I'll be back. It's tough. You don't want to do the same thing in both drops. It's just going to get boring. So maybe the chord progression should be the same. The hook should be the same. Well, at the end I have it layered with a second sound, so that makes things easier. Yeah, I have this and this going here. Like if you go, and I only have like the main one here, so like if you hear it like cross over from here to here, there's like the sound changes a little bit because the sound changes a little bit because there's a second one. So I'm just trying to think of ways I can make these 8 bars different than these 8 bars, and I think the most obvious thing is no matter what, this has to be in here twice. Everything else can change, but that has to be the same. And I need a little bit of it at the beginning. So maybe I'll set that up right now. Like in this intro I have set up for here, I will, let's see. Let's drag that all the way over here. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. Okay. Not like the full thing, but something. So maybe like a filter or an EQ. That makes things easy. And we'll draw in some automation for that. Do a low pass on there. It's gonna end, it has to go all the way up for the rest of the song, but here, like maybe it can slowly fade in, stay up for a little bit, go down. Just like that'll be in and amongst whatever's happening at the beginning. And I imagine what's happening at the beginning, we're also going to have these chords here. So through the first verse, those are going to be playing. Yes. Just like the trap I cannot fall into is having the same thing everywhere. So maybe at the beginning these will be like a layer, and I can turn the volume way down on these, and once I figure out the guitar chords to this, I will record that, put that in there. Let me zoom out just so I have an idea of what's going on here. Then we're going to have it fade out, and so there's going to be, whatever the lyrics end up being, they're all going to be in this area. Then there's not going to be anything in the drop or the second drop. There's going to be nothing in those. And we'll put shorter lyrics in here. So there's like a lot of time to talk here, drop, little bit more talking, drop, end. And then it's over. I'm just thinking what else I could do to make the second drop different. So real bass, real guitar. I can do I've already got the steel drums in there, but they're not amazing, so I could probably change what they're playing. I could keep the hook. I have the kalimba in there, but I think I'll just layer that with the steel drum and keep that about the same. Then I'll keep the sub. Okay, I changed the bongos up for the drum, so I took out hi-hat completely and I put in bongos instead, doing a different rhythm than the hi-hat. Maybe like claps or snaps or something, or like one of those rickety fish things that you do. Let me see some. What would you do? Okay, what would you be more likely to do if you were on a beach partying? Because that's where I'm seeing this going. Would you be doing snapping your fingers, or would you be clapping, or both? Mandy's gonna write lyrics for us. All right. Yeah, maybe for a song we can do that. We're going. The first answer is snaps. Let's try it out. We'll just take a battery sample. This one had some nice reverb. Let's do that one. I mean, this is easy. I'm just going to take the snare and I'm going to move that to the snaps. Maybe we could do some kind of a layer there. So like maybe a second snap just slightly off beat with that one. And then we're going to pan them left and right. I just want to nudge them a little bit. Okay. And then, so that's already starting to widen it up. Then let's give them their own output here. Then we put the reverb on that. Ooh, yeah. Or, ooh, a little delay and then a reverb. That might be good. Oh, I don't like this one. Delay the D. There we go. Less is more. I don't want it hitting that many times. It's just weird because no one's gonna be able to snap. It just sounds inhuman. That's cool. It's like, it's kind of mellow. Yeah. I never said I would write you lyrics. I can't do lyrics, but I'll write you poetry and you can make it lyrics. What does that mean? I will just copy and paste it and songs it? Thank you, Stacy. I appreciate it. I like the shades too. They're staying forever and ever and ever, or until they break. What kind of mic do you have? Is it a condenser? Yes. Well, I have two here. I have, this one's not a condenser. Well, yeah, I guess they all are a little bit. I mean, none of them are live mics. This one's a Shure SM57, I believe. I don't think they make it anymore. I think they just make 58s now. I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't know what I'm talking about with gear sometimes. And then I have a Shure, I want to say without going and looking up, it's PG27? I don't know. So I have this for my instruments. I don't even know. Here, let me check the stream if it can even be seen in the camera here. Nope. Maybe when I pick it up. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I use that for my guitar stuff. So when I'm recording acoustic guitar, my acoustic is acoustic electric, but I don't like the sound I get when I use the electric portion of it. So I always record my acoustic through a mic. It's pretty low noise down here. And then when I ever do actually record vocals with this thing, I will do it with the PG-27. I think that's what it is. That's what I'm going to call it now. And then I used to have, well, I still have a Sennheiser bass mic when for my covers I used to mic up my bass amp. And one time I mic'd up my brother's drum kit behind me here. That was for, he covered all the small things on on his drums there, and we put it on YouTube. That was back when he was like 13 and he's like tiny at the time. But yeah, on my old channel, SlowFuse61, where I just would upload covers of songs, the bass covers, I was using a laptop, a Dell, so that was around, 2009, 2010, 2011 I did all those covers. So I was using a laptop with Pro Tools on it, a DigiDesign interface. All this gear is outdated by now, by the way. I just mic'd it up to my bass amp, which is now serving as a table for my Mac. It's sitting right here. It's an Ampeg T10. Yeah, so all kinds of gear, and there's more on the way, as I have my shopping list up there. The next thing that I want to buy is the FabFilter series. It's just like a bunch of EQs, I think a de-esser in there, some compressors that everyone seems to use in all their online tutorials. So it just would make things a lot easier if I get them. The problem is that they're really expensive. Like, Logic comes with a lot of bass EQs that don't have all the functions that FabFilters do, but the FabFilters cost about 3 times as much as the entirety of Logic. So that's kind of crazy. And then I want to buy a plugin called the Wow Filter. I was watching, I think I've said this before, Tritonal. They did a lesson on making their song Blackout, and I bought and watched the whole lesson. It was like 2 hours long, and they seem to love this Wow Filter thing. They threw it on everything, and it does sound pretty good. But yeah, the basic thing is your synthesizer sound has to sound good, and then these things are extra. But yeah, so I guess that's what I'm buying coming up. SM58 would be better for recording my own samples, huh? Yeah, I mean, if I ever have some extra money thrown around, I'll grab them. Usually the samples, like, stuff with, like, besides the kick and the snare, you can get away with a lot of, like, pre-made samples. Like, even just limited to what battery has that comes with it, you can do a good amount with that. Because no one's really paying attention to that. Like, subconsciously, they're paying attention to the bass kick hit, the snare. Ooh, I like the melody, and that's about it. As long as those 3 things are on point, I mean, everything else you can kind of fudge with. It's just kind of for your own pickiness' sake that you end up sitting here changing everything. At least that's what I'm finding. Student discounts. Yeah, I'm not a student. I'm like a... They're like, you have enough money, you have to pay for it. So, yeah, I bought Ableton a couple weeks ago. I haven't installed it yet, but just because there's a lot of tutorials on that, I figured I would buy it back at the end of the year discounts that all the companies have. So I bought Ableton on Sweetwater. Yeah. So, Yeah, that was a good gear rundown for a minute there. I'm going to end it there for this week. Remember to comment once this goes live whether you want me to continue with this song or work on something else. I'll probably have a lot changed with this one and the remix and the one I'm working on to release by next week. And then the next time I'll be streaming is Monday at 9 for Remix Mondays. And I'm going to go back to working on the remix from last Monday. All right, that's it. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate the hell out of it, you lobsters. Take it easy.